Just as the African continent was on the rise, AI has arrived to disrupt everything.
And repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
In a single day, the whole world realized that China's
Signs
AI...
that China may be catching up to the United States in the...
China has caught up to America on artificial intelligence.
China's latest AI breakthrough has leapfrogged the world.
After China's AI reveal, anyone can now build their own AI model.
But it won't be American or Chinese. That's the whole point. It will be ubiquitous. It will be global technology.
Yeah, it won't.
This should make Africans ask themselves one simple question. What is holding Africa back?
It was thought to be a decade behind the United States, but if China can do it as cheap and as fast as it says it can,
why can't Africa build its own AI model like ChatGPT or DeepSeek? As you might already know, Africa is the least technologically developed continent, and at first glance, AI might seem like a disaster for us. But what if we got it all wrong? What if AI is the great equalizer? It is commonly believed that Africa does not have the capital to invest in AI. Okay, that's not true, because when the funding is available, we misuse it or misallocate it. Let's take a look at the data of the most important sector in developing AI.
Just look at the numbers. The US spends 3.4% of its GDP on R&D, research and development. China spends 2.4% of its GDP.
African countries on average invest about 0.45% of their GDP into research and development. This is significantly below the global average. In 2022, Egypt was the biggest spender on R&D, spending over 8 billion. South Africa was the close second, spending 0.6% of its GDP. That's about the same as India did.
Only 0.6% spending.
But the big difference is that India's GDP is a lot bigger, so the total investment is far greater. To get anywhere close to China, the US, and even India, Africa must spend a lot more money on research and development. The African Union knows this, which is why they have committed to increase spending on research and development to about 1% of GDP. So capital is Africa's #1 problem. But to understand the other problems, let's look at how different regions encourage innovation. If you zoom in to the West, you will see a protected market where countless innovation technologies spring up. The system runs on profit, a capitalist-driven system that fuels innovation and competition. The society encourages entrepreneurs to create, fail, improve, and then succeed. The result? Tech giants like Google, OpenAI, and Microsoft dominate the global AI landscape. Now let's zoom out and move to the East. Here, innovation follows a different pattern. It's about quantity over quality, efficiency over extravagance. Innovation in the East is government-driven. Government protects and funds domestic AI firms, allowing them to grow into global giants. The result is felt around the world, with the East's rapid adaptation, affordability, and centralized tech development. Now, let's zoom into Africa. What do you see? A land of potential, but the continent is 2 decades behind the East and West. That is not a problem. China was behind the US once upon a time. The problem is, instead of focusing on innovation, many African nations struggle with economic survival, inequality, and internal conflicts. And now, with globalization, Africa is facing its biggest challenge: brain drain. Many of Africa's top engineers and researchers leave for better opportunities abroad. So then the questions become, what should Africa do to stop this from happening and improve its economy to allow this innovation?
And it starts by taking intentional decisions that will stop exporting raw materials, that will process whatever we have, create quality jobs that would pay quality wages and engage quality youths, provide them opportunities for innovation.
If African economies want to survive, we have to create market dynamics that will allow local innovation to take place. And this is the good news. We don't have to create a brand new system from scratch. We can study what works in the East and West, adapt it or copy it. I don't care, as long as we catch up while avoiding costly mistakes. In technological advancement, once you are ahead, you usually stay ahead unless something truly revolutionary comes along.
And his ambition is to build AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, a powerful AI that is able to almost replicate human intelligence and aid us in everything.
Yes, we have ChatGPT and we have DeepSeek, but these are just computer models. They are not truly AGI. AGI is a more advanced form of AI that can perform any task that a human, we, can perform. The race has just begun and no one has fully cracked the AI models that we are using now. But here's the most important lesson from China's release of DeepSeek. No matter how far behind you are, you can catch up fast. China was believed to be 3 years behind the US in AI development.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly
But on
swear
January,
that I will
when the
faithfully
US president was inaugurated, China released DeepSeek in response. And the world realized that the gap between the US and China's AI was actually shortened to months or maybe weeks. Africa might be 5 to 10 years behind China and the US, but with open source models, free access to cutting edge AI research, those 10 years can be shortened just like how China did it. The bottom line is, AI is the great equalizer. It has the potential to level the playing field, but only if we take action. Africa does not have to start from scratch. We can copy, adapt, and then improve. Because everyone agrees, when AGI comes, the ones that are left behind will stay behind.